guys, so today I thought we'd see if we were looking at some knife work. We'd look at something knife related, but rather than the form we'll look at some empty hand stuff without knives and using a bit of footwork. So the first thing to do is to get the footwork, then we're going to look at how the knife form can be drilled empty hands, both for if you don't have knives, or you want to look at maybe some applications of the knife form, or if you want to train the knife form without your knives, which can be useful if you're not used to it and you don't want to stick your knife through a window or something. So the footwork is Sandbox, which is going to be going forwards this way and back here. Now, as a reminder, we've done Hunma going forwards here. All our 45 degree stepping that we've done before has always been on tram lines. So you've got your tram lines that go straight out in front of you. So if my right foot here has a tram line extending straight, when I step forwards, it stays on that line. It goes forwards along that line here. And same with the left foot here. One difference that might take a bit of getting used to is the fact that you're stepping at this angle, weight 50-50. So the reason it's difficult is we've always taught you to keep your weight back on the back leg, and the mechanics you're using to generate your power stepping forwards, it feels like they're absent here. So all of the things that we taught you to do before, they're not here. Stepping forwards here, and there's a tendency to swing around and not go forwards. So we're still going forwards. You never break the conceptual rules in Wing Chun. They're always there, even if it feels like you're breaking rules like you would in PG. The conceptual thing is still there. So your thinking has to be the same, but sometimes how we do it is different. So if here you're still going forwards, you're still developing forward momentum and utilising your body mechanics going forwards, but the delivery system feels a bit weird. You're still staying on your tram lines, you're still coming off the centre line. So this is my centre. When I step forwards, the strike is still going past my shoulder here, or whatever's incoming is still going past my shoulder here. Now the reason for doing it with weapons, why not, circle your foot in and go boom along the centre, is the distance. So if you imagine with the knives, the distance is different. They're way over there. They're not getting anywhere near your centre line between your legs. If they try it, chop the leg off. So you don't need to worry about that with this stepping. Now, the things you need to look out for when doing this. So, when you're starting here, you have something called opening and closing the gates. So to step forwards, I'm going to step forward with my right foot. My left foot needs to open, then I'll move forwards. And now, conversely, step forward to the other leg, the right leg opens, and I step forwards here. Open here. Probably can't see it on the camera there, so open, forwards, open, forwards. To step back, if I'm here and I want to step back this way, you close the gate. So this time I step first, and there's my foot coming back from here to here. That's closing the gate. So to step back, close the gate, and then you step back again, close that gate. That's going forwards and backwards. So before you try this drill, make sure you got the footwork. Going open, step, and then step back, close the gate, step back, close the gate, step back, close the gate. All the while, try and stay on your tram lines. Okay? What you don't want to do is, if you're here, step like this. So I end up being in a bladed stance here. If you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you step forwards, there needs to be a gap in between your legs. Okay, so that's Sandbox mile stepping. Now ideally what you really want to be doing is getting power, forward momentum with this stance coming back. So when you do step forwards, you are getting some power into it. Okay, so the drill itself, what we're going to do is we're going to take double Ganser from the knife, so double Ganser in the knives. Here, we're going to take the empty hand version. Here, and it's just the same as you'll see on the dummy. In fact, this little stepping footwork here is just the same as in the dummy form. When you're here and you step out, go in with double Ganser, you end up in that same 50-50 stance. And in fact, that footwork, your leg is swinging out, just as the same as stepping back here in the knife form. Your leg feels like it might be swinging out. It's the same thing. But we're going to go forward to double Ganser here, and then we're going to do well, in the form it's cup jam. In the form, you're coming forward to cup jam here, and you have a low Ganser. Like this. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take that, but rather than cup jam, we're going to do chair pie, which is more usually applied sort of application. Your usual sort of punch comes in, return fire with a cup jam. So remember, cup jam's the one that's 45 degrees. You've got level, 45 degrees, cup jam coming over the top. We're going to do chair pie for this. So after the double Gan, you're going to go low Ganser and elbow strike. Now the Ganser should be in front of your rear thigh. So here's double Ganser, and I'm going to step round with elbow strike and Ganser. You've got to imagine, if you want to visualise something, someone's coming up and under with a low strike here. I'm cutting that off with a Ganser, and it's going to be a close range strike. They're in close, going for a low shot up into the ribs. You're cutting that off, going forwards with an elbow strike. And because of the footwork, this gets you really in close, in deep for the elbow strike. Here. Now, in the form after double Ganser, you do a kick with Lancer. But what we're going to do, we're going to omit the double Lancer and go straight into front kick here. So it's going to be double Gan, elbow strike and Ganser, kick, and then when you land, you're going to punch. It's important to remember all this is on your tram lines. So it's double Ganser, step forwards with elbow striking Ganser. To do the kick, I'll move back so you can see my feet. When I do the kick, you still have to open the gate. So open, kick comes forward, up the centre, kick, and then when I land, it's on my tram line. Here. And I'm landing 50-50. So from here, open the gate, kick, land, 50-50 and punch. So the whole drill is double Gan, elbow strike Ganser, front kick, land, punch. And then borrowing from the knife form, we're going to step back with punches. 1, 2, 3. Now, the punch. So after you've done this front kick, when you land with a punch, you're landing 50-50. That might seem a bit weird as well. If your angle's off, if you land in a bladed stance, to punch forwards, you're going to end up punching like this. Now if you know triangulation, punch doesn't move out of this area. So this is my 90 degrees to my body. We punch from centre to that point. That's our punching radius there. If it goes out, we're not utilising our body mechanics as efficiently as we could. You can break the rules, but I'm not going to go through that now. But for the purposes of triangulation, you don't go out. If you land correctly, your arm is going to be about 90 degrees. So that's at the limit of your triangulation and in front of your rear shoulder here. So you kick, land and punch. Now stepping back with the punches, you're going to do the stepping back footwork, Sandbox, and each time you land you're going to punch. Now once again this is going to feel really awkward to get power into because you haven't got that big torque of the hips and the body to get it in. But as you step back, still utilise your hips to get power into it. But like I say, if you swing back too far, you're going to end up punching out like this rather than here. Now even though I'm at the limit of my triangulated structure, my elbow is still in. So when you don't get elbow out, it's still in. It still has Jam Dao energy in it. So anything that's in the path, if there's a limb here, it should still drive over the top of it. It's still got sunken elbow energy there. Still sinking, even though I'm not bringing that elbow right into my centre. So, whole drill. Double gan. Elbow striking Jam Dao, open the gate, kick, land, punch. Step back 1, 2, 3. And then repeat on the other side. Double gan, elbow strike, open the gate, kick, land, punch, stepping back. 1, 2, 3. That's the end of the drill. So it's practicing empty-handed. You can build on any part of the knife form empty-handed, and the footwork can be particularly useful in application. What we're not looking for is applications from the knife form, because no one walks around the streets like this. You're not going to have your knives on you. Although arguably if you're skillful with this, then using any other weapon that might be nearby as an equaliser, it'll give you some skills to utilise. Even if you were walking around with your butterfly knives, they're not sharpened. If they are, you need to ask yourself some questions about why you're walking around with sharpened butterfly knives. But what you can do is you can look at the form and the techniques within it and say, what can I use that? What can I draw from that into my Wing Chun? It's a bit more difficult with the pole form because the stance is different. You know, it's essentially a borrowed form from another martial art. But the knife form is strictly in Wing Chun territory, so it's very easy to draw from that and utilise it. So have a go. Remember remember your basics in terms of techniques. A lot of this stuff doesn't change in terms of position. So with the double Jam Dao, make sure you've got the V. This isn't too high. The elbow should be at the same height. This is going forwards. Remember, there's no cutting around. It goes forwards. Both hands go forwards. And as Sifu says, it's an either-or technique. So either I'm receiving a punch low or I'm receiving one high. It's just, I'm not sure which it is, so I'm throwing forward a double Jam Dao. It's not for a double-handed strike, which you're probably never ever going to see in reality. So this first one here is an either-or technique. When you step around for the elbow strike and Jam Dao, this is a normal Jam Dao. It's cutting forwards. it'll end up in front of the hip, in front of your thigh, to stop that low punch driving up. So we're assuming this is close quarter. You could say this is mid-range here, because you're going to be receiving on the forearms here. When you do it on the dummy, you assume this is the forearms here that you're receiving. And then this is close quarter here. And the reason there's a kick, you could say it's close quarter and you're here, a knee strike would be better. And in that case, a lansau would be good if you grab their clothing, cover the lansau and knee strike. That would be a good close quarter technique. The reason there's a front kick is I'm assuming as I come in here with the elbow strike, I've hit them, they move back. So don't forget, if you hit people, quite often they can move, either to dodge out the way of a strike, or they get hit and they get pushed back. So if you hit them, you've got a bit of distance, they're still in front of you, kick, and then land, punch. So the kick, once you've kicked here, if you then land, you'll be in range for a punch. Because don't forget, if you're here, once I've done this front kick, when I land, I've closed range a bit. I've closed a bit of distance. I mean, we don't like to do long strings of techniques, but if at any point you want to give yourself something to visualize while you're doing it, these are things you could visualize. Okay, good luck, see you next time.